okay? So this is not beyond anyone's reach. Anyone can do this. Anyone can heal themselves. You just need to know what you're doing. And the tagline literally is fruits and herbs. The only difficulty comes is knowing what herbs to use, okay? And of course, you have to listen to your body. That's the most important thing. That's why we're doing this. It's natural healing. It's listening to your body and applying the tools needed to heal the body, okay? Now, a lot of people ask me, oh, how do you get into this? How did you discover natural healing? Well, it was rather simple, actually. My sweet wife invited me to come with her to a raw vegan retreat. And you might think, oh, there's nothing new. But for me, back in the day, when I was raw vegan, I never had the concept of raw veganism. I always wanted meat with my food, okay? I come from Ghana, West Africa originally. So my background is full of starches and a little bit of meat, but I always wanted meat on my plate, okay? But so when my wife told me to go with her to the raw vegan retreat, I gladly accepted because, I love her. And I was shocked when I arrived there because I did not expect to be eating only raw veggies, literally. There's no other food on the complex but raw veggies. Even fruits were not served. Fruits were served on the weekends only, okay? But I have to tell you that transformed me completely because I went in there with pain, joint pains, inflammation, which is what we're going to talk about right now. So I went there with joint pains, and I was almost pre-diabetic according to a doctor. I had fungus as well, overgrowth. And in just a matter of 3 weeks in this retreat, it was a 3-week retreat, my whole body, my whole mind, my whole life transformed. It was so deep and so well seen that I never looked back ever since. I mean, the transformation was remarkable. The pain all went away, the inflammation all went away. I was like a new person, reborn, and I'm thankful to my wife for obviously introducing me to this. And then from there, I started applying to myself. I made great gains. People saw it. People asked me, what are you doing? And I began to learn and study about natural healing, okay? Then eventually I moved on to herbalism. I actually went to school for herbalism, learned about the herbs, learned about natural healing with fasting, natural therapeutics, and I became very proficient in it. So one thing about me that most people don't have, who are like me in the sense, they don't have the ability to look at somebody or listen to somebody and identify what's wrong and connect the dots, so to speak. So my strongest trait is the ability to connect the dots. Someone will tell me what's wrong with them, and I'll be able to tell, oh, it's their adrenals, their kidneys, etc. Okay, so yeah, that's why I become very proficient. Also, I know how to read eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul, and they reveal everything. It's one of the most remarkable tools human beings have for looking at the human body without any cutting or any kind of invasive therapy on the body, okay? Eye readings are fantastic, iridology is fantastic, and so is Chinese medicine tongue reading, which I'm also proficient in, okay? Okay, so I'm also an author of three books, 2 different courses where you can learn how to heal yourself. These are readily available, some on my website, some on a separate platform, and I encourage all of you who really want to be healers to go through those courses, because they are to the point, they work, you apply it, you can become your own healer and you can help others as well, okay? Okay, so now let's get back to the topic. So the 7 ways of healing inflammation naturally. Okay, so let's begin. So I told you a story about how I healed myself of inflammation just in 3 weeks by going on the raw veggies, right? And there's a deep underlying truth to the reason why I got better, and that's because I stopped eating the foods causing the inflammation. So one of the biggest causes of inflammation is the food you're eating, bar none. Even cooked food, just cooked food in itself is highly inflammatory. Okay, there's some level of inflammation caused when you eat foods that are alien to the human body, and there's no other food on the planet that is better designed for the human body than the fruits. Okay, it's the least obstructive food you can eat, and the additional point of view is that it's very, very, very high in flavonoids, antioxidants, nutrients that can alkalize the body. And when you alkalize the body, the inflammation and the pain will go away. Okay, so it's just a matter of time. But on a side note, I wanted to share with you this one simple testimonial somebody wrote to me this recently. I mean, I think a few days ago, and the person just said this. I personally thank God for you. Following your instructions, I have gotten better, and I'm off 2 medications for my heart. And I'm also, I'm still improving. My doctor cannot believe my transformation, okay? And all I've done is change my diet with the fruits as you recommended, and use the herbs you recommended. And the change has been remarkable, okay? So this to show you how powerful it is. This person had heart problems. They went the traditional route. They wanted to speed things up. So they changed the diet to the fruits, and they used the herbs I told them to use, okay? So let's continue. See. So essentially, I do know how to get the human body better. And I'm doing this masterclass because I feel that if I do a masterclass, all of you listening to this will get a better understanding of how to use the fruits and herbs in a better way, more comprehensive way, okay? So let's try to define what inflammation is, okay? Inflammation, as far as the natural healing is concerned, it's basically an immune response by the body to fight off invaders, acids and toxins. Inflammation in the natural healing field is known as acidosis. Essentially means that acids are not being eliminated from your body. Now, these acids, acidosis, the main source of the acids will be the food you're eating, okay, without exception. It also includes toxins in your water and in your environment, and it includes any kind of food that is obstructive to the human body. This includes animal products, especially. Dairy products are some of the worst, highly inflammatory foods you can eat, okay? And when you consume these toxins and foods that are into the human body, you're going to have a malfunction or a disease, meaning like D-I-S-E-A-S-E. So the body has an ease of function. And when you eat these foods and cause the inflammation, you're going to have a disease or a disconnect of the ease of the body. The body will start to suffer. Okay, there's going to be a disruption in the ease or the performance of the body. Okay, so and a lot of you know. In the medical world, they labeled inflammation in different ways. You could have something like when you have inflammation of the bowels, you call it colitis. If you have inflammation of the appendix, it's called appendicitis. Inflammation of the liver, hepatitis. We don't go by that. We go by addressing the root cause. The root cause of inflammation is acidosis, period. It could be toxins. It could be from the food. It could even be from an injury, okay? Because sometimes inflammation is needed and necessary. For instance, if you cut yourself, the body goes into a state of inflammation. It's trying to repair itself. So that is not bad, because if that didn't happen, you wouldn't be able to survive. Okay, so inflammation, when it's needed in the right time and place, is necessary. It's very important. But when the body is highly inflamed, when you're eating the wrong foods over and over again, when you are introducing toxins into the system, it becomes a state of high chronic inflammation or acidosis. And this is very destructive, could destroy the human body, period, and leave you down a path of pain and suffering, okay? So let's go. So let's start with how does the body, I explained to you the body gets inflamed because of the foods we eat, the toxins and the pathogens like bacteria, fungus. These are all cause an inflammatory response in the body. And the reason why this inflammation process cannot be taken care of, because normally when you get a state of inflammation, the lymphatic system is going to be responsible for cleansing up any kind of toxins or inflammatory process and send it to the lymph nodes where it's processed and then sent to the kidneys where it's eliminated, okay, the toxins and the metabolic waste. But when you're eating the wrong foods for a long period of time, that pathway gets blocked, okay? So the pathway gets blocked or it's not as efficient. And this will cause pain, because I always tell you, when you always hear me on my lives, I tell you that pain is trapped acids, trapped inflammation it's pain, okay? So when things are inflamed, when you can't get rid of the inflammation or the toxins that cause the inflammation, you're gonna have pain. So pain and inflammation, they tend to go hand in hand, okay? So if you want to get better, we need to put the body in the right environment, and we have to get rid of the acidosis, which is the inflammation, okay? Now, acidosis or inflammation will stimulate excess mucus production. Mucus is part of the lymphatic system, and when there's excess mucus and the body cannot remove it fast enough or quick enough, this excess mucus carries the acid and toxins, and because it's stagnant, it will start to affect the function of your tissue, organ, and glands. And that's not a good thing, obviously, okay? And for the body to function properly, there are actually 3 energy flows of the body. There's a blood flow, there's nerve flow, and lymph flow. Okay, any of these are blocked or inefficient, you're gonna have a problem. Okay, most of the time though, it's not going to be blood flow, because if you have a blood flow blockage, there's a big problem. You probably won't survive. But the majority of the time, it's going to be a lymphatic flow problem. And the lymphatic flow, when it's compromised, will affect the nerve flow. Nerve flow is needed because it allows communication between the cells. When there's no communication between the cells, there's a problem. The body can't function properly, okay? So like, for instance, some people will have blood sugar issues. That's because the nervous system does not get the message across to the pancreas to produce insulin. And so we call that, a neurological weakness. So there's not enough insulin produced, you have a blood sugar issue. There's a block in nerve flow here, okay? So like I told you before, pain is trapped acid. So our job is to remove the inflammation and the acid so the pain and inflammation can go away. Okay, so let's continue. So I want you guys to imagine that if you knew how to take care of pain, how to remove the pain from your body, or the inflammation from your body, you'll be able to take care of yourself, right? Let's say you had a liver weakness or pain in the liver, and you would know in theory how to deal with it. But you know that the pain is caused by trapped acids, by inflammation, and the reason why the inflammation is there is because the body is not being able to remove the waste by the lymphatic system through to the kidneys. And your job would therefore be to open up that pathway by using herbs specific for the entire body, but herbs for the liver to help it clean itself out, so to speak. Okay, so let's go. So now I'm going to go into the content. I'm going to explain to you how I look at natural healing. I call it the Raw Maraby healing triangle. Okay, because no matter what you're going to attend to or trying to help or deal with, the triangle, there's actually 3 steps you have to understand. The first one is the diet. The diet always has to change. 90% of the problems, I'd like to say even 99% of the problems are going to be diet related, okay? Because the diet is a major cause of introducing inflammation into the body. And if you can fix the diet, that's step 1, you are already ahead of the game. Step 2 of the triangle, of the Raw Maraby triangle, is herbs. You got to use the right herbs. Herbs or herbs, I say herbs because where I come from, Ghana, is said with the H. But you need to use the right herbs to always address the entire body, okay? And then extra herbs to address the part of the body that needs help. For instance, if you're trying to work on the liver, you would use herbs for the entire body, which I call the Fabulous 5, which you have heard me say over and over again, Fabulous 5. Plus, there are herbs for the liver. This is the basic way of thinking about it. The best way of viewing it is the simplest way of understanding it. You're going to go always with the Fabulous 5 to address the entire body, and you're going to add additional herbs for the parts of the body that needs help. Okay. Sometimes the herbs will be cleansing herbs. Sometimes there'll be herbs to tonify or bring back up. Okay. So that is a skill obviously you need to know. But I'm just trying to show you in general just a broad view of how it works. And the step 3, the part of the triangle, because the triangle is 3 parts, is the therapeutics. You have to use protocols to put your body in a place where it can heal. Like for instance, you need to know how to sweat properly. Obviously, sweat to the right amount. Maybe breathe properly. Okay, skin brush. All those are therapeutics. Maybe some rebounding. These small things are what we call therapeutics. Okay, and they're necessary because they help the healing process. Okay, so the 3-step, the triangle is therefore step 1 is the diet, step 2 is the herbs, and step 3 is the right therapeutics. Okay, now I want to give you an example of somebody. I had my moment when I learned all this. My aha moment came across when there was a 75-year-old man who needed help. He had prostate issues for the past 13 years. He couldn't resolve it. He went the traditional route, couldn't resolve it. Had tried every single thing under the book there, okay? It got to the point where he was urinating every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, he was urinating. He couldn't deal with it anymore, so he knew of my success, and he came up to me and he said to me, please show me how to fix my prostate, okay? Naturally, of course. And I showed him exactly what to do. I put him on a 21-day lemon-only cleanse. This is a case study, okay? This is what really opened my eyes to the whole natural healing process. I put him on a 21-day lemon-only cleanse, and here I am thinking that he would never do it. Okay, but because he was begging me, and he said he'd do whatever it takes, I just put him on it, bearing his permission. And I gave him herbs for the Fabulous 5, the entire body, herbs for the kidneys because he needed extra help for the kidneys when you have a prostate problem, and I gave him extra herbs for his prostate. Okay, and he did a 21-day cleanse, and I every single day I was there. By Skype, overseeing him, okay, and he was pulling through, and he lost a lot of weight, obviously, and he was able to fix his prostate problem, okay. 21 days lemon oil cleanse with the herbs. That was what really shook me and made me realize that this is truly spectacular information that needs to be shared. Okay, and that's why I'm doing this right now. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to reach out to you and teach you, and so you can learn better and address it, apply it to yourself, apply it to others as well. Okay, so let's move on and see. So I briefly explained to you that why diet is the key factor here. Is 80% is 90% of the game. The food you're eating, the food you have eaten, the foods your parents ate are responsible in a large part to the inflammation you have now. Okay, and therefore we need to rectify it. We need to, if there's it's a cause and effect. If the cause was the foods you're eating, the effect is the inflammation or the pain. By simply reversing it, we can address the root cause and start to change things. Okay, so diet always is crucial. I recommend you go always after transition, meaning that if you're coming from a standard American diet, don't jump straight into a lemon-only cleanse or a grape-only diet. I do so only in extreme cases. But otherwise, I would just go on a transition. That means breakfast, fruits, lunch, maybe some fruits, and dinner have a big salad or some steamed alkaline vegan food, okay? And that's how simple I keep it. And then I would work my way onto the 100% fruit diet, like a grape-only diet or lemon-only cleanse, which are the two most powerful fruits I believe I've used and believe in, okay, to heal the body, help heal the body, okay? So the diet aspect, though, the reason why we work on the diet and then we also use the herbs is that we need to address something that I called DAUE. This stands for D meaning your digestion, A, your ability to absorb nutrients, and U, the ability to utilize the nutrients, and E, the ability to eliminate. Okay, so I mean, this process has to occur if there's going to be wellness in the body. If this doesn't happen, the body can get better, because without digestion, you cannot make use of the food you're eating. You cannot get the energy you require. A lot of people, they will eat food, and you see pieces of the food undigested in the stools, which means that most of the food they're eating, the nutrients are not being used, and this is a very bad thing. This means that you basically harmed yourself before you even start the game. Digestion is crucial. So you need to use herbs to strengthen the liver, the small bowels, the entire GI tract for that matter, okay, the gallbladder, to make sure you are digesting food properly, like super chew your food is another one you can do, okay? This is very important. Because with proper digestion, is the first part of the game when it comes to absorbing or making use of nutrients. The second part is to absorb your nutrients, and the part of the body that will absorb nutrients are the small intestines. So we need to make sure they're clean. So we use herbs to clean the small intestines. A lot of people, without exception, and I've read over thousands of eyes actually, and I have never seen an eye that doesn't have mucoid plaque in it. Okay, the small intestines are usually covered with mucoid plaque, and this proves to you that the protein and starches we're eating are simply coating and covering our small intestines and preventing proper absorption. Okay, so we need to use herbs for that. And next, utilization, your adrenal glands. These are the glands responsible for making use of minerals and vitamins. Except calcium, any other mineral and vitamin is utilized by the adrenal glands. They produce corticosteroids that will make use of the minerals and vitamins. Okay, once it's been digested, absorbed, and now utilized. Okay, so it's very important that we strengthen our adrenal glands. We need to use herbs like rhodiola, ashwagandha, ginsengs are all good for the adrenal glands. Okay, and finally, the last part of the diet or of the aspect of healing with foods and herbs is elimination. If you don't eliminate the waste of the food you ate, it's going to be a big problem. So we need to strengthen our kidneys, the skin, the bowels, okay, and the lungs. Okay, these are the 4 avenues of proper elimination that have to be functioning properly. Otherwise, you're not able to eliminate waste, metabolic waste. That, remember, can cause inflammation in the body. Okay, you can't eliminate waste. The waste backs up. The waste is hot, so it will cause excess mucus secretion. This excess mucus will block energy flow or compromise energy flow, and the body gets ill. Okay. So, and just to make it simple, we use the fabulous 5 herbs I spoke about to address the 4 parts I just spoke of, okay? And in a general rule, the herbs in the fabulous 5, there are about 32 of them. We'll address all I just explained to why you need the digestion, the absorption, the utilization, and the elimination aspects of the healing of the human body, the process of making use of nutrients and then eliminating them. Okay. Having said that, now let's move to the first way. So the first way of fighting inflammation is a diet. The second was the making use of the herbs and diet was the second as well. Now we're moving on to learning how to sweat. So one way to get rid of inflammation is learn how to sweat. Okay, most of us don't sweat enough. We have jobs that we sit on a chair and on a desk for hours, and we don't sweat. You need to take steps to make sure you do sweat on a daily basis. Okay, and even if it's just 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day, it's good, because the skin has to be cleaned. You have to open up the pores in the skin, and that's a way of eliminating metabolic waste, especially gases. Okay, so take steps to sweat. Maybe go for a walk. Maybe you want to go into a dry sauna or steam sauna. Do not use infrared sauna, whatever you do, okay? Because you're heating the body from the inside out. It's been shown that heavy metals come out through the skin, like cadmium, lead, mercury. These metals are highly inflammatory. If you keep them in the body's going to get inflamed. It creates excess mucus secretion, and then it affects the functioning of your tissue organ and glands, okay? So it's important that you address that. Okay. Now, step 3 of the process is you want to optimize your digestive system. I've spoke about it a bit about how you need to digest food properly, but you need to take steps specific for doing so as well. Apart from the herbs, you want to do some enemas. When you're on a cleansing process or cleansing regimen or detox program, make sure that you do some enemas. You can even do colonics, but don't do it obviously on a daily basis. You can do it once every month, once every 2 months is fine. But enemas, if you are detoxing, make sure you use enemas, because you want to clean the bowels as best as you can. And enemas are fantastic for that, okay? No matter what anyone might tell you, they're not aggressive enough to hurt you, put it that way, okay? Whereas colonics done incorrectly can hurt you. Whereas enemas, they're not going to be doing that for you. But they offer you immense benefits when it comes to helping you remove waste from your body. Okay, so clean the bowels with the enemas and the herbs. The next step, step 4, is learn how to breathe properly. You always want to take steps to learn how to breathe properly. Most of us don't breathe properly. You're supposed to breathe from your stomach, okay? And it's an art. You have to learn it. So I advise that you go onto YouTube and search Tumo breathing or Wim Hof method, and learn how to breathe properly. It makes a huge difference. Remember that you are bringing oxygen in, and also you're also eliminating carbon dioxide. So learn how to breathe. Breathe at least once exercise. Do exercise for breathing at least once a day, preferably in the morning, okay, or morning and night. 10 minutes, even 5-10 minutes is enough. It's something, and it adds up, okay? I can't stress it enough. You always want to take steps to learn how to breathe properly. You'll get more energy, you will feel more invigorated. It's well worth the investment, the 10 minutes twice a day or even once a day. And step 5, you want to take steps when you're trying to heal the body to learn how to meditate. It's part of the healing process, part of fighting inflammation, because if you do not learn how to calm yourself down and beat stress affects your adrenal glands. And when it affects the adrenal glands, guess what? The adrenal glands control your kidneys. And the kidneys filter out the lymphatic system. So it's a big vicious cycle. If the adrenal glands go down, kidneys go down. Adrenal glands also affect the nervous system. But more importantly, when the kidneys are weak and are not filtering, the lymph system is not filtered, the lymph system backs up and affects every tissue, organ, and glands. So you can see that why some people, when they're stressed, or they get ill. Or if they're ill and they stress out more, they get even sicker, okay? So you gotta take steps to learn how to calm yourself down, and that's done by meditation. It's one of the most powerful ways of dealing with stress. Okay, because if you don't do that, you're going to be ending up watching TV and stuffing your face with ice cream and chocolate and something like that. That's emotional. It offers you emotional release, but it doesn't help your health. Okay, so learn how to combat stress by meditation. Now, if you want the actual steps of meditation, feel free and contact me, and I'm more than happy to send it to you. Because I've seen the effects of meditation on the human body, especially when it comes to healing the human body, okay? Also, what you think about is what you kind of manifest. If you're thinking negatively and you're trying to in the healing process, you're going to have a tough time. If you're thinking positively and you're on the right path, you're meditating, you're doing the exercises, you're breathing properly, and you're doing your enemas and all the steps I just mentioned to fight inflammation, you will win the game. However, if you have a negative view and everything to you is a nuisance, you're going to lose the game, okay? Or at least you're going to take a very long time to get better. Okay, so step 6 is how are we going to boost our immune system using simple exercises like rebounding. A lot of you have heard me talk about rebounding. Rebounding is a rebounder is much like a mini trampoline, and you jump on it. You're supposed to jump on it or bounce on it, and what it does is it moves your lymphatic system. Remember, your lymphatic system is the key factor when dealing with inflammation, and this talk is called the 7 ways of healing inflammation naturally, right? So you have to use exercises like rebounding to help move your lymphatic system, and this, when combined with the diet, can take you a long way. However, there's one caution I do tell you: if you're really in chronic pain, chances are you're not filtering. And in this case, I would not be using the rebounder, because the rebounder will generate more waste, which you can't eliminate, and make it a lot worse for you. So step number 6, I'll put it in with caution. Only do it if you have kidney filtration. And how do you determine if you have kidney filtration? Well, in the morning, when you wake up in the morning and you urinate into a clear jar, look into the clear jar, you should see sediment in your urine. That means tiny snowflakes and strands of mucus. This tells me that your body is eliminating waste, if some kind of waste, okay? If it's clear, then definitely you don't want it to be touching rebounding, because any kind of exercise is generating waste, and the waste will compound, okay, and make things a lot worse. Okay, so step 7. Now here's a quite exciting one I'd like to talk about. This herbs to use for pain or inflammation. Okay, one of my favorite things you've seen, if you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I've posted it twice now, is using a whole lemon, put it into a blender with water and some agave or stevia, and blending it and drinking it. That's one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods you can eat. Remember, it's a lemon. Okay, but in this case, we're making use of the actual peel and the pith. The pith is the white part of the lemon. Okay, so it's very, very potent. When you drink it, you're gonna feel the refreshing smells of the essential oils in the lemon, but the anti-inflammatory properties in there you only have to experience it to understand what I mean. That is so powerful for fighting inflammation. Okay, you do it on a regular basis, at least once a day, preferably twice a day. And you have already started using food to help you fight the inflammatory process. So it's very powerful. Make sure you add it. And now I'm going to mention to you a few herbs that are the most powerful when it comes to pain and inflammation. Okay, the first one is cordialis. This cordialis root is perhaps herbalists view it as the second most effective pain reliever. Okay, right behind opium. That's how powerful it is. Okay, obviously without side effects. There's literally 0 side effects unless you overuse it, which is next to impossible. So I recommend that you study the herb cordialis root. Okay, the next one is kava kava. Kava kava root, again, a root, is a pain reliever and an anti-anxiety herb, which means that it will help reduce stress and anxiety. Okay, so one of the powerful plants to use when it comes to reducing inflammation in the body. Okay, very powerful stuff. Guys, if you're enjoying this, before I continue, please make sure you follow the group, the Health Seekers group, and also follow me as well. I have more of these coming up. Of course, I want to take some questions from you guys when I'm done, but so you don't ever miss any of these masterclasses, be sure to join the actual club itself, the Health Secrets Club, and me as well. If you just click my face there and follow, and you'll be notified whenever I come on. Okay, so next one we're going to talk about is the valerian root. Now, valerian, a lot of people know it for sleep, which it is. One of the most powerful plants to use for sleep. I would use valerian as a way of reducing pain and inflammation, but I'd only use it at night, okay, because it's going to put you to sleep. And if you're at work and if you are driving a car or something, you don't want to be taking valerian. So use valerian root like 30 minutes before you go to bed, or an hour before you go to bed, okay? It's literally called nature's tranquilizer. And it greatly reduces the sensitivity of nerves. So in other words, if you have nervous tension, you use valerian root. The next one is white oak bark. White oak bark is one of the most powerful plants you can also use when it comes to fighting pain and inflammation. Okay, I recommend that you make it into a tea and drink the tea. It has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties, and it's a great pain reliever as well. Okay, and many people will not do not know this, but white willow bark is actually very similar to aspirin. In fact, aspirin was modeled after the white willow bark, except that the white willow bark doesn't have any side effects. Okay. Okay, and finally, the last one is white lettuce herb. White lettuce herb is a great pain reliever as well. It's great for fighting inflammation. Okay, and it can also help you with any respiratory issues as well, like whooping cough and asthma. It's powerful plant, white lettuce herb. You want to use that. It also has sedative effects, so it can put you to sleep. So use it only at night with the valerian. Okay, so these are some of the most powerful plants you can use when you're trying to fight inflammation and pain, for that matter. Okay, very, 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 very powerful stuff you want to use. And as a bonus, I covered the 7 principles of relieving pain naturally, but there's an 8th bonus I want to share with you. Okay, this is a topical application, so you can put on any kind of joint pains or anything you have. You can relieve the pain. Make use of oil, castor oil packs. Castor oil is highly anti-inflammatory, and how you do it is that you're going to take castor oil and apply it to the part of the body that's experiencing the pain. Okay, and then you're going to cover that part with a saran wrap or some kind of plastic or even a cotton cloth if you don't care about getting it oily. And take a hot water bottle and put the hot water bottle on either the cotton cloth or the saran wrap, and let the heat penetrate with the castor oil, and this gives you relief from the pain and inflammation. Okay, so we are tending to it topically whilst we are addressing it internally, because internally is the root cause. We want to take care of that, but in the meantime, when people have pain, you want to be able to reduce the pain for them. Then you want to use castor oil packs as well. Okay, and then and a side note, this is an additional bonus as well. You want to always strengthen your adrenal glands, because remember, they fight inflammation. The adrenal glands' job is to fight inflammation, and you always want to make sure it's strong. Most of us walking around, we have weak adrenal glands. That's why we have the anxiety, the panic attacks, chronic fatigue. This is adrenal gland weaknesses. So be sure always to use herbs like rhodiola, Panax ginseng, American ginseng, Siberian ginseng, and licorice root. Okay, these are fantastic for your adrenal glands. You perk up your adrenal glands, you'll be able to fight inflammation much more proficiently. Okay, so here we go. And the final one for topical application, so you can fight the inflammation, is a garlic oil for pain. Garlic oil, most of you know the power of garlic, but you can actually apply it on the area of pain. Okay, it's remarkable. The only thing you have to know about garlic, though, you use too much of it or you leave it for too long, it can sting the skin. It can not burn per se, but irritate the skin. So you always want to use just a little bit of it. Okay, with castor oil or any kind of carrier oil. You can also add in some glycerine and some burdock seeds. Burdock is fantastic for the skin. So you combine the garlic. You take about 8 ounces of garlic juice. Okay, you can make it smaller, of course, and you're gonna mix that with some glycerine, about another 8 ounces of glycerine, and add a pint of burdock seeds in there. You mix it up all together, okay, and you apply over the area that has the pain. And the glycerine actually will prevent any kind of irritation to the skin caused by the garlic. Again, this is fantastic for pain relief. One of the most powerful natural methods you can use for pain. Okay. So guys, I hope you guys have so far enjoyed it. The summary, I want to summarize it. This is 7 ways to beat or reduce inflammation. Okay, the first one was the diet. Okay, and the herbs. Next was to sweat properly. Learn how to sweat properly. You have to take steps to sweat, like use a sauna, a steam sauna or dry sauna, and get the skin open. Use some dry brushing. We want to clean the skin, make sure it's breathing properly, so to speak. Next, you want to clean the bowels or improve your digestive system. Make use of enemas and herbs for your bowels. You also want, the next step would be dealing with stress. And I recommend that you use meditation for stress, to fight stress. And like I said before, if you want the actual steps for the meditation, feel free and reach out to me on my Instagram or my Twitter account as well. And finally, I told you we need to give the body a bit of a boost by doing some rebounding. When we bounce gently on the rebounder, not don't actually jump, just like bounce on it, bounce gently. You're moving your lymphatic system, which is the system that deals with inflammation, okay? That and the adrenal glands, of course, and we want to give it that boost. A slight rebounding is perfect for that. Okay, so do some rebounding, provided, of course, that you're filtering. Remember, if you're not filtering through the kidneys, don't do rebounding because you're going to be building up more waste, and this can cause more pain, okay? And I told you about the herbs for the pain, okay, like the kava root, the valerian, and wild lettuce. These are fantastic for pain relief or inflammation as well. And there you have it. So it's that simple. But remember what I always tell you, the triangle I spoke of. Whenever you're trying to heal any part of the human body, fight inflammation, doesn't matter what it is, you always use what I call the raw Maraby triangle, healing triangle. And that is number one, diet. That's the top. And the next part of the triangle is going to be the herbs. And the third part of the triangle is going to be therapeutics, using the right therapeutics, okay? And when you have that triangle in, you understand the triangle very well, you're always going to do well because it's simply using the right diet, using the right herbs, and giving yourself the right therapeutics. When I say therapeutics, I mean like the rebounding, everything I mentioned after the diet and herbs is therapeutics. You're taking steps to help the body heal itself, the meditation, etc. Okay, and that's how you get the human body better. That's how you fight inflammation at the root cause, so it doesn't come back again. Okay, because anything else you do aside from this is just a band-aid policy. You're just pushing away the pain, but it's gonna get worse and worse with time. Okay, and there you have it. So yeah, so if you, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions specific to this, you can ask a question. Okay, all you have to do is open up your mic, and I'll accept you and bring you up, and you can ask a question. And of course, let's make it towards the topic of natural healing. It doesn't necessarily have to be about on inflammation, but if you have a question, keep it nice and short, and I'll do my best to address it. Okay, for you.